I mean, the team was
S-
great, dude. Like I said, I'll say this on air, dude. Like going into the season, I had Neighbors, Pickens, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Terry McLaurin on my team. That should be lethal, man. That should
On
be
paper,
two of those would do
killer
well
team.
for you.
right now. But I mean, Amon-Ra just got hurt. He put up a big fat zero in the in this week, so like lost this game. So 6-7, man. 6-7.
6-7.
Ugh.
How you're feeling is probably how the Browns are feeling. For my game to watch this week, the 49ers, as we all could have predicted, walked away with a big old win, 26-8. I'll say this, as much as I've shit on Shedeur, he looked really good in that first drive. And he honestly didn't look like horrible. He didn't look bad. Um, but it is the Browns, right? The
And
Browns offense.
you got to remember he's also going up against the 49ers defense, and Bob Salah has got that defense playing to be one of the top defenses in the league right now
Salah.
too.
Listen, the Niners are in the playoffs. They're one win away from being what the winner or leading the division. They're one loss away from missing the playoffs entirely. Um, they've got a bye week coming up, so some things could shift around for them as well. It's an incredibly weird position that the NFC and AFC are in this year, compared to the last few years. Um, that's a tough defense to go against, and they're going to get a break. They've got the Titans coming up. They've got a really weak game in the final week of the season. You're going to get what could be two potential really good games from Shedeur in that Browns offense, and you could have the remainder of 5 or 6 games, however many are left, that could go really bad. You just don't know what you're going to get because he's surrounded by nothing. Of course, any quarterback who's been there outside of Baker Mayfield has been surrounded, and even him, you could say, coaching wise, he was surrounded with nothing. So it's a bad situation. Maybe if he ever gets the chance to leave the Browns, would Shedeur Sanders be exciting or be a good quarterback in this league? It's definitely not going to be in Cleveland where he's going to be a good quarterback. No matter what. We know the nasty man is probably coming back next season. Um, at least as the starter, until he tears his Achilles for a third season in a row. We can only hope as much. Um, but for honestly, from what I saw from Shedeur, not as bad as I was expecting going into this game. I think he was 11 for 18. At one point, I think he was 11 for 14 or 11 for 15. Played pretty
He
well.
had
He had a
to leap for a
quarterback rating
moment
at one
too.
point of like 120. He finished at like 95 or 97. That's pretty solid. He just doesn't have a lot to play with, but that is the situation that he's in, which is not unlike any other quarterback that's gone in there.
But
Um,
he's done more with what he's been given than some other quarterbacks have so far, especially Dylan Gabriel.
I, Absolutely. Nobody's also said that Dylan Gabriel's at, well, I shouldn't say nobody said that. There's been some fans out there that are delusional that have said Dylan Gabriel is a good quarterback. Didn't think he was very good in college. I watched him at Oklahoma for far too long. But any quarterback you put in that Brown situation is just not going to perform. And I'll take back some of the criticisms that I gave Shedeur. I didn't think he was a good quarterback in college, but in this game, he's proven to me that he is better than what I have seen. Though I don't
He's
know how
better
good that
than
better is.
he's better than
What I have seen
Dylan Gabriel.
better than JJ McCarthy.
He's better than Dylan Gabriel.
He's a lot better than JJ. Come on now.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to see what he can do, and then
Wait
against the
for a
Titans
whole
next,
off season, man. Wait for a whole off season.
It's gonna be
just for the
dangerous.
nasty man to
Trade
come
him,
in
Dangerous.
trade
and
him somewhere
play
else. Don't
instead.
let. I mean, come on.
Get
We
a
don't
fifth
need
round
to.
pick back for him.
If
Come
they're
on.
if they're really gonna if they're really gonna stick with Deshaun Watson, like let him play somewhere else. There's teams that could use a quarterback.
Definitely team, but they're not going to get rid of him. He's on a rookie contract. He's shown what he can do, but you can't have Deshaun Watson come in and not play him with the money that you've wrapped up in him. That's just not going to happen.
Whatever.
I don't
Szechuan.
like it as much as you. I don't, I don't like it either. I don't think anybody wants Deshaun Watson to come in. That's just the nature of the beast when you pay somebody two hundred and
Jimmy
thirty million
Haslam
dollars
does.
guaranteed.
Jimmy Haslam definitely wants him to come in.
Well,
Come on now.
I
he
mean,
wants him to
at
come
the
in and be
at the end of the
good.
day, you're trying to win football games, man. You're trying to win football games.
Do you think Kevin Stefanski sticks around next year? Or do you think this is it for Stefanski and the
I
Browns?
mean,
I for some reason I don't see the Browns firing him, and I don't
the
see him
Browns.
willingly leaving a head coaching job unless there's another one opening up, and they're not going to just Browns aren't going to let him go interview for that. They're going to
I'd be
eventually fire him, but he needs to get out of there.
he does need to get out of there. I don't know. I, at this point, I'd kind of be surprised if the Browns decided to keep him this offseason. I don't think there's very many coaches in the carousel for them to go after. I don't know of any that would willingly take it that are good coaches.
He has an amazing defense, and he's on his third quarterback of the year. He's won Coach of the Year for the Browns. He's going to be fine.
I get it. I get it. He is a good coach.
They kept
Just
fucking what's his name for way too long. What was it? Jackson?
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson. They kept him for way too long after a non-winning season at all, no wins in the season, and won 2 games the next year. They kept him for both of that. They're not going to get rid of Kevin that easily.
They're also trying to get money from the city for a new stadium, and you need a winner in order to do that. You need to be able to put together some wins. Somebody's head's going to have to roll in order for them to do that. At least to
Not this
to
offseason.
attempt.
Not this offseason. I don't see that happening for him. They're going to bring in a new coach and be like, hey, you got Deshaun Watson with you. Make something out of this. They're doing the same thing over and over again. They're going to have another losing season if they bring somebody else in. Have somebody that's been there for a little bit and can possibly win you some games and maybe coach of the year again.
I think they'll have a losing season regardless. It's the Browns.
I don't know, man. It's a full offseason with Shedeur if he gets a starting job over Deshaun. That's dangerous.
Full off season, baby.
Maybe if their wide receiver one isn't Jerry Judy.
That could be switched up. They're gonna have
Better get better in the draft. Make some trades. I mean, it's not. It's never. It's not never. It's not never. It's never. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm saying.
Whoa. Whoa.
In the Brown situations, it's not coaching. Like it's organizational. It's top down, but it's not coaching. Right? We know. Everybody knows Stefanski's like you give him good players, he can put together a team. But
he could be coach of the year.
Could be.
All right, let's get off this game. This is too much Brown talk for us again. We're back onto the cricket soccer stuff again.
Ty Bob picked it to watch, so he had to talk about it.
Not that much.
Idiot.
First game of the week for me. Bears versus Eagles, Black Friday game. Bears 24, Eagles 15. The Bears completely ran it all over the Eagles defense. The defensive line for the Eagles was non-existent in this game, as well as their offense too. Kevin Patullo is a terrible offensive coordinator. Seems like they're following a trend so far. They have a great offensive coordinator hired from outside the organization, a la Shane Steichen a few years back. They get rid of him. They hire somebody in-house, end up going to shit for that year on offense. What do? They go out and hire somebody outside of the organization. They hired, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Last offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. They hire him outside of the organization. What happens? They win a Super Bowl. They have one of the best offenses in the league last year. He leaves for a head coaching job. They hire from within the organization for Kevin Patullo. Their team goes to shit. You can't trust a Nick Sirianni guy to be your offensive coordinator. That's a given now. We've seen it happen twice, and their offense.
The Nick Sirianni tree is poo poo.
Straight doo doo. Straight doo doo. The biggest problem was the Eagles' defensive line could not do a single thing in this game. You're telling me who won this draft off of last game only? What is his name? Deshaun Wright? Is that his name? the tackle for the Bears?
I think so.
Maybe.
Would you rather have him or Jalen Carter? You have a 1 game sample size. This past game, Bears Eagles. Who would you have? Who would you pick?
I mean, I'm still
Did
taking.
Ryan Pace do it, or did Ryan Pace do it?
He got
Because
himself a very good piece. I'm still taking Carter.
we're doing a 1 game sample size here, though. We're not going over a career. We're going to this past game. Who performed better?
Everybody for the
Because we
for
don't
the
know.
Bears performed
Did he
better.
have to block
Everybody.
Jalen Carter at all?
A lot, and he did. I gotta find his name now.
Everybody for the Bears performed better than the Eagles, outside of
Darnell Wright.
AJ
Darnell
Brown.
Wright.
Darnell Wright.
And what happened
Outside of
whenever
AJ Brown, everybody.
Look what happens with AJ. Give me the ball more, and guess what? We're gonna win. No, if you get AJ Brown the
Psych.
ball more on the Eagles, they lose those games. Ever since they've been giving him the ball, force feeding him the ball, what has happened? They lost the games. Saquon, he's non-existent. The record without
He has
Lane
been
Johnson
all
is
year.
terrible. That's what I'm saying. Lane Johnson, the record with and without Lane Johnson is terrible. But they still cannot run the football. The main piece they're missing from last year from their offensive line is what? Mookie Becton?
Okay.
That's the only guy that
Mekhi.
left. Mekhi Becton?
That's
Excuse
fine.
me. Sorry. Find me. I'm fine with that. That's the only person they lost is the right guard.
Brother was thinking of Mookie Betts. We were talking about baseball too long.
You can't do that to me, man. That's too much baseball for one podcast. Seriously, that's
Way,
the only
way
guy
too
they
much
really
baseball,
lose.
honestly, for us.
The only guy they really lose is Mekhi Becton, and they still can't perform anything. That's a right
Mekhi
guard.
Becton's really good. Let's not.
He is really
let's-
good, but if you're that offensive line, you should be able to call plays to be able to run the ball a little bit instead of having Saquon have 20 carries for 60 some odd yards for the game.
I think. I think it goes back to coaching. I think it goes back to the organization. We sat here. They made 2 Super Bowls. The Eagles did. We sat here and we go, okay, this team is really good, but better yet, they had a better philosophy. They were able to run the ball, and they didn't need to pass it, and they needed 9 yards and 4 downs. Because if they got to 1 yard, all they're going to do is tush push, and that's all they have to do. They barely punted because all they needed to do was get 9 yards on 3 downs, and then you can use your 4th down for a tush push, and it's automatic because they cheat.
Special shout
They
out.
can't.
It's not automatic this year because special shout out to Nashawn Wright going in on the side, stealing the ball from Jalen Hurts, causing a fumble. Love seeing stuff like that happen, especially for
And
a
they
guy
let it
like
stand?
this.
They let it stand? I can't believe it.
Especially for a guy like Nashawn Wright.
Forward progress, guys. Forward progress is stopped wherever he's at that time.
The problem with the
Transition
Eagles this
to
year is
tush push,
they
yeah.
can't get 9 yards on 3 downs anymore. They can't do it, and so they inevitably can't do the tush push on
They
4th
can get
down.
9. They can get 9 yards on 3 downs.
Not as often as they had been in the past, which is why they haven't been running the tush push as
Jalen
much
Hurts
this season.
sucks. They got 4 years left on his contract, and they're gonna regret that so much.
I mean, they got
Getting
one.
paid a lot of money.
Philly's fine with getting one. Like they're usually.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true. I don't think they're fine with only having one.
Well, they don't
They'll
only
be fine
have
with only
one.
having
They
one.
won one a little bit ago, but they're not trying to string back to backs. They're fine.
They got it. They're like, we're good.
Yeah, they're good.
Bears are for real though.
Bears
Number
are
one
for
seed in the
real.
NFC.
Maybe.
Number 1 seed in the NFC.
The biggest turnaround in a year's time for any team in the NFL, probably. Black Friday last year, they ended up firing their coach, Matt Eberflus. This year, they're now top of the division, leading that with Ben Johnson. Shout out Ben
Almost
Johnson.
at the top of the conference.
They're at the top of the conference now.
They're at the top. They're the number
They're
1
number
seed.
one. They're number one.
They're
seed.
number 1.
Yeah.
Shout out Ben
With
Johnson
the-
as well, though. I don't know if you guys saw this. He took his shirt off after the game. There is a shop, hot dog stand. I don't know what it is exactly in Chicago, but they're giving out free hot dogs Tuesday because Ben Johnson took his shirt off after a game.
Look, that was a cool story. Look at the difference between Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, though. Like, such an awful spot at the Jets, man. Like, how'd you end up with that job? Like,
And he's putting some wins together. But
I
this
guess,
goes back to another point, though. Who was the real alpha male in Detroit? Was it Ben Johnson or was it Dan Campbell?
I guess it was Ben
Clearly been.
on offense.
It's
Dan don't
clearly
know what he's
been.
doing on that side of the ball. Don't
He's
I
look.
got a I
trying.
got a lot of flack last year for saying it's not Caleb Williams' fault, by the way, uh,
Either
for
way.
how bad he was. I'd saying Matt Eberflus was the issue. Now look at it. You actually got Caleb Williams, a coach, and what, Sean? You said he was one of the leaders in fantasy points this year, which isn't
Hey, well,
necessarily an indicator.
let's
It's
take it
not
easy, bud.
necessarily
Well,
an
hold up. Let's go back for a second. He was one of the top 10 fantasy quarterbacks last year as well, too.
I,
So
like I said, it's not necessarily an indicator, but of just true performance. But now they're putting the wins behind it, which means that they've had the talent there. They fixed up the offensive line with a lot of moves this offseason. You actually get a good coach in there. Caleb Williams always had the talent. He just needed a coach and some better moves. Ryan Poles finally made those moves too. He was
he,
almost on the way out.
he fixed that offensive line in 1 year. Good for him. That's hard to do.
We've got a race in the AFC South. The Colts might be on their way out, or at least they've dropped out of winning the division. They just lost this week to the Texans 2016. Danny Dimes has a fractured leg, played on it, didn't play very well. They haven't played well in the last couple of weeks, losing to the Chiefs, and then turning around and losing to the Texans. It's not a good look there. Jonathan Taylor did have a decent enough game, but nothing like he's had so far this season up to this point. Texans, I really don't know if they're for real. I mean, they've got what, a barely over 500 record. CJ Stroud coming back after they won 3 games in a row without him.
With Davis
They
Mills.
clearly Davis Mills. They clearly have a fantastic defense, number one defense in the entire NFL. If they get continuous easy matchups like this, then I could see them making a run, most definitely. The Jags are sitting atop the AFC South, and I don't know honestly if the Colts win another game. They have one of the hardest remaining schedules.
I got it
I
pulled up
think
if
they,
you want to hear it. If you want to hear it real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
They have three AFC South games remaining. They play the Jaguars, the Seahawks, the Niners, the Jaguars, then the Texans.
They
So they
don't
could
even play the
easily,
Titans.
no, they could easily fall out.
They could easily lose every single one of those games, especially if Daniel Jones' his leg is affecting him that much. Especially if at any point they have to bring in Anthony Richardson to be the starting quarterback. At any point, you can kiss those wins goodbye. Uh, I don't know if I see them winning another game.
I can see them winning one of the Jaguars games, but not both. That's about it, though.
They do have Jags in week 18.
No, they have Texans in week 18. They have the Jags in week 17.
I don't think they drop either one of those.
You
Well, hold
don't
up.
think they dropped them?
I don't think the Colts. I don't think the Jags drop either one of those. The Colts lose out.
The Jags could drop the week 17 one since that is in Indy, and the Colts almost always lose whenever they go to Jacksonville. So time will tell. That I think that division's going to come down to the final
Is
week, no matter
is
what.
Daniel Jones on a broken leg better than who they have behind him? Is
I
it
mean,
still Anthony
clearly
Richardson, I guess?
It's Anthony
yeah,
Richardson.
clearly,
Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly he is. He started his last game.
he played the
He got this
entire
injury
game.
during
They
the
Do
did
Chiefs
y'all
not
game.
bring.
think so, looking at what he put out there?
I
I
mean,
mean, 16 points against the league's best defense is not. It's actually not bad.
Okay. Uh, I mean, you're trying to be like the best team in the AFC, and you only scored 16 points in a game. But
Didn't the Texans beat the
for
Bills?
me, the storyline that's gonna like that is continuing through this game throughout the NFL this season is the terrible calls from the refs.
oh, that's gonna be highlighted so much in the playoffs.
The fourth quarter of this game was littered with just weird calls. Do you think that kick was good?
That was a weird one.
You
I
think that
I
kick was
think it's
good, bro?
I
I
think it's
don't.
an optical illusion. There has to have been an optical illusion. I've never seen referees get that all wrong. They're standing directly underneath. It had to have been an optical illusion.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like for the viewer from the camera, there had to have been some sort of optical illusion where it looked like it was not good on camera, and they were able to see and that it was good on the field. Standing underneath the goalpost gives you the best direct look at it, but I, it's weird. It's definitely weird, Sean. I don't know.
Do you think they were just like not looking at it at all and was like, "Oh yeah, I think that went in." Like, there's no
I
other way.
I
They
think it
have the
was
best
good.
view in the house.
I think it was good. I think it was good, and it was legitimately just an optical illusion that was weird to everybody who saw it
What?
on camera.
I don't know. What? Okay. Uh, and then and then the pass interference call that had CJ Stroud going, "Yeah, bro. Yeah."
Refs are bad. Refs are bad this season. What more can you say?
Especially on pass interference calls. That is just littered everywhere in the league. They don't know what it is anymore. It is bad.
They're bad in the NFL. They're bad in college. Like it doesn't matter the level of what you're sitting at. Refs have been bad across the board, no matter where you're at, no matter the level this year.
It's sad. It's unfortunate. Like I don't we can talk about it every year, but there's so little that we can do about it, and it's annoying.
Unless you want to go fully automated.
I don't know how you really do that in the NFL.
I don't know how you do that
It's gonna be flag
outside
after
of
flag after
anything but
flag.
baseball. But exactly, I don't know how you could do it against anything except for baseball. That's the only one that you could fully automate. You can't do that across any other sport.
But the whole like, not a full-time employee, like not paying them X amount or whatever, like this is a $1 billion machine and they like pay the players like the least amount of like all the sports.
And they make
Like
the most.
invest a little bit in your product. The refs shouldn't be the discussion after every game, every
You just want to have
week.
the best referees, so there's no discussion on what happened if it was down to the referees or not.
Right. Like I mean like set a standard, like learn the rule book and like train people to, you know, get it right.
Or
It's
have,
stupid.
I don't know, have the
It's a stupid problem to have. Like it
very
it
stupid
taint
problem to
it
have.
taints it taints games. Like
And
because
we
the
can't
Colts
keep,
because the Colts very well could have won this game.
if we keep going into stuff like this on if this was the right call or not, and challenging it to New York or something like that,
CJ
that's just going to
Stroud
get
on a
messy
third and
over and over again.
CJ Stroud on a 3rd and 15's banking on a pass interference call. Like it's not good football, right? Like they don't win that game if they don't get that.
You right. You right.
I mean, it was kind of early in the fourth quarter, but
You
it
still
was a
right.
crucial moment because it led to a touchdown. Okay, my game of the week. Bills Steelers. Um, as much as Josh Allen is their guy, the MVP of this team, I think for most of his tenure at the Bills is James Cook.
Oh, by far.
Because if the Bills do em, implore or employ this strategy in the playoffs, just feed James Cook 30 times, you're gonna probably win the game. Offensive linemen love to run block. James Cook was feasting all day, and I know the Steelers are like a mid-level team in the AFC, but they have a decent defensive line. James Cook was eating all day. The Bills offense didn't even look good in the first half, but James Cook was still eating. He had a fumble. Josh Allen had a pick like first drive, and then second half was all James Cook.
I said it
The
early
Steelers,
on
the
in the
Steelers didn't score in the second half, so
I said it early
Aaron
on at the
Rodgers
beginning of
went
the
out, and
season.
there was no production out of that offense.
Come on, man.
Josh
He got a messed
Allen
up nose
and a broken wrist.
and a broken wrist. Leave the old man alone.
I'm not saying anything negative against Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying when he came out of the game, it was 7-3 at halftime, the Steelers winning, and they didn't score any points in the second half. When Aaron Rodgers left the game, there was no production for that offense.
Well, he did come back in the game
They
and played
they
some
were
more.
Did he? I mean,
Yeah.
He did.
regardless.
He played most of the third quarter, if not all of it.
Anyways, it was all James Cook. Who cares who played on the Steelers in the second half because it was all James Cook.
I said it towards the beginning of the season after a couple of weeks, like that is the MVP of this team. I totally agree with you. I think Josh Allen has taken a massive step backwards this year. It obviously doesn't help him that he doesn't have any receiving weapons, but in
When
the
he doesn't
same
have anybody getting separation, like he's clearly not as good as Patrick Mahomes. Like he's not.
that's exactly where I was going to go. If in the same vein, if you are one of the best quarterbacks in the league, which undoubtedly he has shown that, and everybody agrees on that, if you're left with this depleted wide receiver core, you still have to figure it out.
Yeah.
We've seen others do it. Lamar Jackson, for as bad as we've talked about his passing ability in the past, still got it done when his number one receiver was Hollywood Brown. And that was all he had.
In the
We,
regular season.
we've also said the same thing about Patrick Mahomes, and look at that. He won two Super Bowls with his number one receiver being Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Is he even in the league anymore after leaving the Chiefs
Ooh, low
and
blow.
being
Low
on the
blow.
Saints?
Low
Like
blow.
what are we talking about?
I think
Um,
he played on at least two
he,
different teams.
he played for the Saints and then he went to the Bills and the Bills cut him. And
Right.
now he's not
Or
on a
Low
whatever.
team.
blow. Low
Right.
blow.
So like
Not really a low blow, but he was
Josh,
crucial for us in a playoff run.
yeah,
He had one
I'm just
playoff run that was he was very instrumental.
just saying what Josh Allen has this year is the equivalent of what other quarterbacks have had previously, and he is not living up to the name of being one of the top quarterbacks in the league when it falls on your shoulders. And thank goodness, if you're a Bills fan, you have James Cook, because Josh Allen isn't getting it done for you this year.
He did set a record or something for rushing touchdowns in this
Yeah,
Who
76
cares?
rushing touchdowns,
Who
but like
cares?
you're a quarterback.
Most of his rushing touchdowns come within 5 yards.
game. Yes.
That
Get
is
some
true.
distance on that. Get some distance on that. Come on now.
Well,
I don't think this
I
Bills
thought I
team
thought it was going to be a better game being in Pittsburgh. I was like hoping
too much faith in the
they would
Steelers.
be a little bit more prepared, but you know,
Mike Tomlin is not having a winning record this year.
Let's just look up that schedule then.
one of the many interesting storylines in the NFL.
The only interesting storyline for the Steelers, because that's all they have to look forward to every year.
Yeah. Well,
It's not making the playoffs. It's
Ooh.
can
is your
Mike
one
Tomlin.
That's a rough,
What do they
rough
got?
way to end the season. They got the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Browns, then the Ravens.
Mm.
2 wins.
What's their record right now?
They'll get one against the Ravens, and they'll beat the Dolphins for sure.
God, what happened to the Ravens this weekend?
Happened